Let me introduce you to a man called Stephen. He's a good name as well.
Dar vienas vyras labai gražių vardų.
And Stephen is an Englishman.
Britas.
And he believes absolutely in collaboration for schools as being the key for unlocking the potential of schools.
Labai tiki bendradarbiavimu.
And so he will say you've got to get your students in class should be collaboratively learning together. Your teachers should be collaborating together as to how to get the students to collaborate together. And the education system should be getting the directors together to collaborate as to how the whole system can help each other.
Tarkim, regionų vadovai irgi turi padaryti, kad, pavyzdžiui, vadovai jisai turi susitartų, kaip vieni kitiem padėti.
And so all of his research, and all of the resources that he has developed are all free on the website. And he would say to you, take what you want and use it. So you'll find some interesting things on here like learning spaces. This is one I like. Shoeless learning. The kids all take off their shoes when they come into class.
Mokytojai, vaikai nusiima batus, kai ateina į klasę.
That's not unusual in Japan because you wear slippers in school anyway. Your shoes get left at the front door.
Japonijoje tai nuolatinė praktika.
I believe this one started in Finland as well.
Šitas iš Suomijos.
And there are some schools in Australia now which are shoeless schools.
Australijoje yra mokyklų be batų.
And it was just an experiment of somebody, and they discovered that the students changed their behaviour when they weren't wearing shoes. Particularly the boys. The boys became calmer when they weren't wearing shoes. So it meant that the floors of the classrooms had to be carpeted. And the furniture in the classroom changed because the students... Stephen Hepper would say, I've heard Stephen speak many a time, he always says it. The school chair is the most destructive force against learning that has ever been invented.
Mokyklinė kėdė yra pati stipriausia naikinanti jėga prieš mokymąsi nukreipta jėga.
You'll say, how many students ever come home to you as parents and say, oh, can you please get me one of those wooden school chairs because I really would like to sit on that in front of the television.
Kiek moksleivių yra atėję pas savo tėvus ir pasakė, kad nupirk man, tėti, mama, man tą mokyklinę kėdę, aš norėčiau ant tokios sėdėti žiūrėdamas televiziją.
And he would say, students will read and enjoy their reading if you can give them somewhere comfortable to sit. So So he has a lot of practical research where he's experimented and done the research on the impact. Here you go. Interesting spaces to sit and read. Reading cubes. Big soft pillows. This is a classroom. Collaborative whiteboard desks. Collective pens that everyone shares. And a collaborative space for kids just to sit without shoes and read in a classroom. Different ways of stacking things up so you can get more kids into more spaces. Here we go, cushions, a cushion dispenser. So you swap your shoe for a pillow. You deposit your shoe and you take a pillow. So your shoe rack at the front gate, at the front door. This is the corridor outside the classroom. Okay, so you can read all about that and what happened. Here we go, right on surfaces. Here you'll find the information about different kinds of walls and desks and things that are made into whiteboards. And the research on how the children's behaviour and the teacher's behaviour changes.
And does it cost a lot, I think?
No, it's cheap.
All this.
That's an IKEA desk.
Yes.
IKEA desk, and when the legs break, you just go and buy a spare leg from IKEA and screw it back on. And the paint is actually cheaper than normal, maintaining normal surfaces. So in the new school which we are building, one whole wall is whiteboard paint.
Siena visiškai balta.
The whiteboard paint doesn't mark. If it does, you just rub the mark off. Whereas normal paint, if you get a mark on it, you've got to repaint the wall. So it's very good financial efficiency to have whiteboard paint on all your walls.
Apsimoka baltai nuvaryti, nes jeigu kažkas išteplioja, tiesiog suvalai.
Specialūs kažkokie. What kind of paint is that?
It's called whiteboard paint.
Yra atskira kategorija.
Sakėt, jūs jau matėt Lietuvoje?
Aš mačiau plėvelę.
And if you go to Steve's website, you'll actually find brands that he recommends, some brands. Whiteboard paint, yeah. And the good thing about it, when the desk starts to look old and untidy, you just repaint it. And you know the cheapest way to get it painted? Get the students to paint it.
O pigiausias būdas nudažyti yra duoti moksleiviams patiems nudažyti patiems. I think we can make a whole system intervention in Lithuania to distribute 50 tons of
whiteboard paint
throughout the country.
And don't forget the textures, the whiteboard markers. So look, you'll find hundreds of ideas on Steve Heppel's website of things that people have experimented with that actually ended up with a researched positive outcome. The ones that didn't have a positive outcome, you won't find on his site.
Viskas, ką jis yra atradęs ir kas veikia, jis puslapį, o kas neveikia, tai nedė.
This is one that we've been looking at in Australia. Now, this changed the way I'm building new schools. I'm currently building 2 new schools, and the architects have been told that they can't put air conditioning in. Now, we're a hot country. So I had a big fight with the architects and the engineers. They said you have to have air conditioning. And I refused to have air conditioning based on this research. And so what we've done is we've put in evaporative climate control. So it takes fresh air from outside, it pushes it through a wet piece of material to slightly cool and moisten the air, and then that goes into the classroom. And it can only work if you have the windows open for that air then to go out and new air to come in. So the oxygen
sistema, kuri per drėgmę perleidžia tą orą ir jis tada šąla, bet to, kad tiesiog kondicionavimo sistema naudotis.
The oxygen in the air is always being refreshed, is always high level. Because if you read this particular one, this machine that he has measures carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide gases in a classroom.
Šitas rodo anglies dioksidą, anglies monoksidą klasėje.
Both of which will kill you eventually. I'll put you to sleep and kill you if you have too much of it.
Kurie tave gali nužudyti, jeigu bus per daug.
And so a classroom with the windows shut and the door shut, which
uždaryta klasė,
I saw in Lithuania all week when I was in the schools.
Lietuvoje pilna tokių klasių.
By the time you've had 28 kids for 2 hours in that room,
28
the carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide levels are dangerous.
Yra pavojingi anglies dioksido ir monoksido kiekiai.
You cannot concentrate in those levels of gas.
Tu tiesiog tokiam lygiai deguonies negali susikoncentruoti.
The other thing, which is part of the same research, looking at the physical environment in which you want kids to learn, is the amount of light in the room.
Šviesos lygis.
So, okay, the lux reading here is 303. So I've got 303 lumens here where I'm sitting.
303 lumenai čia.
It's recommended for reading or for doing computer work where you've got to focus on things that are small. That you should have. Now I'm forgetting. It's either 850 or 1,000 lumens. So it should be twice as much light here for a classroom. And you can download a lux meter onto your phone and just see what the light is like in your classrooms and compare with Steve Heppel's research. as to how much light a child needs to be able to concentrate on a task. If you want them to go to sleep, 200 lumens is good.
Jeigu nori užmigdyti, 200 liumenų pats tas.
If you want the performance of their brain to really drop, keep the doors and the windows shut so the gases increase. Turn the lights down.
Jeigu pritemdyti šviesas, uždaryti visus langus ir duris.
And have irregular noise patterns coming out of something in the room.
Ir turėti tokius
as a distraction.
Reiškia, triukšmo, tokius varijuojančius triukšmo lygius, ta prasme, dažnai kintančius. Turėsi tobulai neproduktyvę erdvę.
So, physical environment is really important when we start to focus on what's good for the student.
Jo, fizinė aplinka labai svarbi.
So, you might like to explore some of the rest of Steve Seppel's research. I'm just aware that we're almost running out of time. And of course, what we've talked about most, which I'll finish with, is that all of the direction we're going in Australia is focused on building the capacity of teachers. We're accepting that our previous behaviours has given us a range of teachers from very weak teachers to very strong teachers.
Tai ką mes darėm anksčiau, tai mes papuolėm į situaciją, kur turim visą amplitudę labai stiprių ir labai silpnų mokytojų.
And so our aim for all of our improvement is focused on not on buildings so much but on teachers. To bring the weaker teachers to improve. And the words that everyone keeps saying over and over again is if we want better outcomes for students, we need better outcomes for teachers. And then we resist the temptation to blame the universities. Because the universities do deliver the theoretical frameworks for teaching. The blame for weak teachers lies in what the school does for the first 2 or 3 years of new graduates.
Didžiausia kaltė yra mokyklų, ką jos padaro su naujai ateinančiais žmonėms per pirmus 2 metus.
So the newest project that I have initiated in my organisation is a program, we call it our new graduate program. But it's not just for the young teachers, it's for anyone who's been in teaching for less than 3 years. Regardless of their age. And so we are focused on giving those teachers time off from class.
Mes dirbam, kad tie mokytojai turėtų laisvo laiko.
And to attach for each of them a coach or a mentor.
Kad atsirastų mentorius arba coacheris.
And giving those mentors time to do that.
Ir mentoriams lygiai taip pat suteikti tam laiko.
And we have established an institute.
Sukūrėme institutą.
Institute of Teaching and Learning.
Mokymo ir mokymosi institutą.
And we have staffed that institute to run professional development programs for all of our teachers.
Ir tas institutas kūrė mokymosi procesus likusiems mokytojams.
But focused on the new graduates.
Bet pagrindinis akcentas naujai atėjo.
Because we see this as a 10 or 15 year development program. So we focus on the younger teachers, knowing that if we are consistent about this for the next 10 or 15 years, we will have a very strong school system.
Nes jeigu dirbsim vien tik su jauniausiais, po 10-15 metų turėsim labai stiprią mokyklų sistemą.
So we are turning it upside down.
Apsukom.
In the past, the oldest teachers were seen as the most important people in the school.
Anksčiau vyriausi mokytojai buvo patys svarbiausi mokykloje.
In our organisation, now the youngest teachers are the most important.
Šiuo metu dabar jauniausi.
Which they're quite happy about.
Jie laimingi.